One of the things that Chris and I have talked about off camera is what is happening to our town. What is happening to the city of Magee? We want to see it grow, but is it growing? You know, anyone that passes through Magee sees all this growth on the highway. Is it really growth? I don't know. I don't know. And I think, and I have to say this at this point, I should say it at the end, and I'll say it again at the end, but this is Chris's opinion. We want your opinion. Personally, I think the more heads that get into it, that really care and that are open, the better it is. I think when you narrow and you only listen to just a few people, that you're not getting everything. You know, sometimes, and Lord, I'll get off on some tangent. Sometimes when we have we even have a meeting here, we may spend an hour in total just talking about things, and then I'll go back in and I'll beat myself up and say, oh, we lost this hour of work. But did you lose that hour, or what you gleaned from that hour? We have not had public forums. Okay, I'm going to be criticized right there for that. We did have public forums. No one attended. But have you ever thought about why they didn't attend? I was brought an already rendition. Not what do you think? This is what we're going to do. And this is where I think that Chris brings to the table legitimate ideas. I don't always agree with Chris. Now, you got to understand, we don't see eye to eye on everything. But I respect his opinion. It doesn't mean I have to agree with it. And if there's any time you want to give your opinion, you just call me up. You know, or I'll run you down like I did Chris. But I wanted to ask Chris what he thought and what he sees with the future of Magee.
Well, to me, it all starts with the schools, the hospitals, the banks, you know, the business leaders. You know, like I said, all of us have a stake in this if we want to live in town here, you know. And if you got a business, live out of town, you got a business here. I mean, with a dead school, I mean, people's going to, you know, contribute to your business. I mean, in the big picture, we all tied in together here with that.
But, you know, I can take resentment when you say we have a dead school.
Well, I mean, if you was, I'm just saying, if you was a business guy coming here wanting to, you just landed at Evers Jackson Airport over there and rented you a car, so I want to drive to Magee, and you know, they got a lot of traffic on the highway out there, and I want to look and see the ins and outs of Magee, and I drove down here, and I might want to put a business there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I come down the main drag there on 49. Hey, this looks good. There's a lot of growth out here. It sure is. And this is only coming here. And then I drive downtown, and I don't see any new houses, not inside the city limits. Mm-hmm. I drive down there and see the schools there behind the police station. I mean, that looks okay. You know, they've cleaned that up a lot and look a lot better. Then I drive over and look at the old schools that were built in the 40s or 50s or whatever. I said, whoa, wait a minute, these people don't care nothing about their place and, you know, their schools. And I turn around and drive off and drive down to college and see if they got something nicer.
What do you find, and this may not be a fair question because it's just, I mean, I don't know, but what do you find that is the percentage of people when businesses come in and look at the impact the school has on their decision?
Oh, on something like that, it's 100%. I mean, it ain't for them. They may live in New York and they're just going to put a business here, but at the end of the day, they're going to have employees that's running this thing, that's living here, that's going to have kids in that school, and you know, and they want what's best for their employees, you know, and that's the name of the game. Your schools and your hospitals got to be number one.
What do you see though with do you see any answer with our downtown area?
Downtown is in it's in sad shape, but to credit our city officials, the mayor and everybody, and the banks that contributed and stuff, and other people, everybody else contributed to it, to working law, like the new tree we got down there. It may be something small to you right now, but you know, if somebody else is coming through and see this and all this new work we're doing on all the turns, you know, in downtown, all that, I'm telling you, that's coming a long way fast.
You know, I think a lot of time people. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
The downtown is your heart of your city, okay, and that's, you know, we got the Walmarts and all, and a lot of businesses couldn't make it and all that, but still, our police station, our city hall, and all that's downtown. Our churches, you know, all that's downtown, and that's going to be the heart of it. You know, you need to take care of your downtown. You need to make it as presentable as possible. You know, and a lot of times the city officials, in my opinion, again, just keep the can down the road. And you know, nothing ain't happening. Don't worry about it. I challenge them, you know, to just our alderman, mayor, everybody, you know, maybe drive over at Mendenhall down Main Street in the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe drive over at Collins, look down there Main Street, and then come back to ours and see for yourself, you know.
Where do you think, though, Chris, it's hard to get a building on Main Street? I think there are people that want to build on Main Street or want to open a shop on Main Street. What's holding us back?
Well, again, you know, we're different from, say, a Mendenhall or a Collins because we have a Walmart, Super Walmart. I mean, you know, you got to have the business. At the end of the day, business owners got to make money to pay for it. I think it's doable. I mean, there's, again, if our city officials maybe talk to some other people. How did Steve Womack get that going over there? They had the same thing over there, you know. It was dead. It was dead as a hammer until 3 or 4 years ago.
That's true.
And maybe ask some questions. But just going to a city board meeting, and I ain't gonna say just to draw a check, but just going to the meeting and going through the approving last week's meeting and going 30 minutes we out and we back to our families and all that. You know, we got to do more than that. If it takes an hour or more to sit there and get some ideas, do it. But again, people's got to be there to contribute and participate in it, or that's what's going to happen now. You know, I firmly believe that the city leaders we have, even though some of them hardly ever agree on anything, but the mayor, our aldermen, our police chiefs, all work. I firmly believe they do have the city's best interest.
I do too. I really do too.
The ones we got now, but applying that is another thing.
Yep, it is. It is. It is. I would love to see Magee itself have more forums. You know, when people could come in and give their ideas. I think a lot of times people don't want to do that because they fear what's going to happen or what's going to be said or what's going to be erupt from it. I know just when we did our debate that several candidates did not want to participate because I think they felt they would be put on the spot or they would be singled out or it would just turn into fiasco or whatever. But you know, I have a problem with the fact that we never have open forums. Now, I will say this, if you probably ask the mayor, when they have open forums, no one comes. Nobody comes. We sit back, we criticize, we say we want these things on Main Street, we say we want to see Magee grow, but as far as putting feet to it, it's your one person that might attend a board meeting. So I guess it comes back to anything we have in our churches or whatever, is get involved.
I agree, that's a good idea, I agree with that. But like, you know, I said before, that come to these meetings, if you have a home inside the city limits or a business inside the city limits, you know, you have a vested interest in what the board, the mayor, and everybody's doing here. I mean, that's at the end of the day and in the big picture, that's what's going. If the property values go down, if your city dies, your property value goes down, your house ain't gonna be worth that.
Right. Right.
As simple as that.
Right.
The main thing on the city is I've questioned them and go around looking at other cities, and I'd like to have an answer from each board member and the mayor on this. In my opinion, you have two options in a city this size. And if you look at other cities this size around the state, do you want a housing community and build houses? and get revenue from rooftops, or do you want a rental community? There's no in between.
Wow. I think that's a good, that'd be a good forum right there.
Well,
that'd be a good point. I've never thought about it like that.
Each one of them, because there's no in between. I mean, the way the regulations are, the way the zoning, everything that's involved in being inside the city, you only have two choices, and that's, do you want housing rooftops, or do you want rental rooftops? Because if you look around, when elderly people pass away and they got their houses, well, they can't get what it's worth, so they rent them out. And that's what the town's coming to, you know. And the city, the zoning commission, just like all my properties, they've told me that it's out. There will be no more rental as complexes built inside. So that kind of goes back to where I paid more for the property, but yet I'm being punished if I wanted to build a rental complex, which I don't want to, but
yeah,
you know, that's part of being in the city. So
I'd like to know what you think about that. What do you think? Do you think we should be a city of rental property, or do you think we should be a city of houses? And this was a decision that was made in Madison and in Richland. Madison chose, yes, Madison has no rental property. I mean, they don't have apartments. They don't have apartments, and probably a lot of people don't realize that. But then in Ridgeland, right there, you can have apartments. And it's just, and I'm not saying don't have apartments, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just thinking it would be interesting to hear your opinion. Again, anytime you'd like to come sit and talk with us, or you just want to have a forum and that we don't even film, we're always open to discussion here at McGee News. I hope you'll have a good week. I hope you'll listen some more, because I'm sure we'll be back with some of Chris Lane's thoughts.